What if the hardest things that you have lived through are actually the greatest gifts that have ever been given to you? I know it's Thanksgiving week, and most of us have a tendency to focus on all the great things that we are thankful for. The gratitude that we have for the blessings, all of our wins, the joyful moments. Well, today in this episode, I'm going to challenge you to go a little deeper because there is a type of gratitude that is much more powerful than this one. It's the kind of gratitude that will change your life. Let's get into it. Hey girl, welcome back to another episode with me here on this podcast, our podcast. Thank you so much for being a loyal listener. Once again, here we are. And it's a little different this week. Obviously, I have a different backdrop. Everything has been so different for me this week. I didn't even know if I was going to get to actually record this. I've had a lot of things to overcome this week, but here we are. It is my birthday weekend. Obviously, I'm not at home. I am in Tucson, Arizona, for my birthday weekend, and hence I'm wearing this t-shirt, Vintage 1970. I will be 55 on Sunday. I'm super pumped for this weekend. I'm here for the L Tour, the 42nd L Tour de Tucson, and we're gonna be riding 63 miles, myself and a few wonderful ladies that I'm here with. And Camille Bauer is the one that invited me. So I'm really excited to be here. Anyways, I've been having to overcome a lot of things. I didn't get to record this podcast episode at home like I wanted to before I came because I didn't have internet. And I thought I was just going to do audio, but I thought, you know what, I want to be here. It's not perfect, and I'm going to practice what I preach. I am always talking about showing up imperfectly. Well, here we are. I'm in this room. The lighting isn't so great. My notes here on paper, I'm probably going to be glancing down, and that's okay. You know what? I am super, super thankful that I get to do this, that I'm here with you right now. So happy Thanksgiving week. And today, when this drops, obviously, it's going to be Monday. It's going to be after this whole event that I'm at. So I don't even know what this weekend, how it's going to go down. But it doesn't really matter because I'm still going to be thankful for the opportunity to be here. And I know that some of the things I'm going to talk about in this episode today, they make people very uncomfortable. A lot of people get uncomfortable with this topic, and there's a tendency to think that it's like toxic positivity, to be thankful for the things that are tough. But I want to share with you why I feel this way and what I believe and what I've learned. And I hope that you can take it to heart. If you haven't thought about some of these things, I really do hope that you'll kind of open your mind to it and see how it can change for you. Because for myself, it's been life-changing, and it's not something that happened overnight. But I will say this, absolutely 110% or more, it has impacted my health, my fitness, my mental health, my emotional health, all of the things. And so I know that if you listen to my podcast and you hang out with me, we vibe. And I just have a feeling that this is going to connect with you. So what I want to talk about this week, it's all about gratitude. And today we're not going to be talking about the cute, surfacey level type of gratitude that most people want to talk about, right? We're going to go deep. And you know me, I like to go deep, but it's meaningful and it's impactful. And when we can face the deep stuff, we can truly live a fulfilled, joyful life, like the kind of life that you have no regrets for, and that you really feel like you're living your best rockstar fit life. And that's the goal. That's the ultimate goal. And I want to talk about being thankful for the things that most people would never, ever choose to be thankful for, because it's hard to be thankful for hard things that we've gone through. And I know, because I've been there too. And that's part of the reason why I wanted to record this podcast episode, because it's been a few years since I've talked about some of the things that I've gone through. But I will say this, I am going to talk about some deep things, some trauma, some hard things I've gone through in my life, but I'm not focusing in on these topics with the idea that I am some kind of a victim. That's the difference. I'm just going to share this because I think a lot of people look at my life and they just think that I've had things just handed to me, I've got it easy, all kinds of excuses for why they're not changing and why they're not seeing things a different way, and then staying stuck. But I'm here to tell you that even though I have experienced a lot of things in my past, it didn't have to be that way. And these mind shifts that I have had don't make me perfect or better than anybody. I am definitely no better than anyone. But this is the reason why I want to talk about it. Because anybody who wants to change their thinking and change their life can do this if they want to. And it is painful. I've gone through painful things, traumatic things, messy things, unfair things, confusing things. And I know that we all have. I'm not alone. I'm not special. I mean, I am. You are too. We're all special. But I'm saying, like, we've all been through stuff. And I have learned to take full responsibility, but not blame. I've taken full responsibility. And that's what this is about, taking full responsibility for every aspect of our lives. And it's changed my life. It's changed my health and my mindset, like I said. And it's literally the reason why Rock That Fitness Coaching exists. Rock That Fitness Coaching would not exist if it wasn't for my mindset shifts and for the things that I have stepped into courageously, not fearlessly, but with fear, still doing it anyway. So why I'm thankful for the tough things. I'm going to talk about this. And then I want to talk about flipping this around and the things that helped me. I'm going to talk about these tough things. I'm going to talk about the things that helped me turn my mindset around, the things that actually impacted me in a positive way. I want to talk about responsibility versus blame and not being a victim of our past. I want to talk about reflections. I want you to reflect on your hard things in this episode. And then I'm going to give you some journal prompts to think about. And then we're going to talk about how this ties in to your own fitness journey. So let's get into this. And, I could sit here and say, it's not easy for me to talk about these things. But the truth is, it's not hard for me to talk about these things. Because the things that have happened in my life and the things that I have gone through they're not me. They are how they have shaped me. They are how they have shaped me. The random words. It's things that have shaped who I am and why. Because of that, I can be grateful and thankful. Let's all take a chug of the jug. I don't have a jug with me, but cheers. Drink some water right now. Let's go. See, wasn't that good? Didn't that feel good? Be thankful for that water. That clean, refreshing water. I'm just kind of going to go through these things, list them out. I think it's important for people to know these things about me because it's not about me, but I just want you to know that if you have had hard things in your life that you're not able to recognize as things you can actually be grateful for because it's shaped you. I just want you to know that I get it. And you can overcome this and move on. And it can be a very powerful fuel in your life to transform you from the inside out. So if you don't know this, I was a child that grew up with an immigrant mother. She didn't speak English. My parents divorced when I was 5. My dad was in the military. He was in the Air Force, brought my mom here to this country. And my mom raised myself and my little sister. She's 2.5 years younger than me. Single mom, okay? Didn't speak English, so she couldn't help me with school. And I loved school. I loved school. She was a single mom. I rarely had any supervision growing up. Lots of babysitters, lots of childcare, lots of wondering when mommy was coming home. I was exposed to alcohol abuse, domestic violence, and sexual abuse. And I was actually abducted at 7 years old. I had been picked up by a total stranger, taken, far away from the house and attempted rape with me. It's very traumatic. I don't need to go into all of the details. I survived. And growing up with having hardly any of that supervision, mentorship from parents, guidance, and parenting and that kind of thing. And by the way, I always say this, I love my mom. She did the best she could with what she knew. So I have come to that place where I know that she loves me and the best she can, the best she knew how. And so I grew up working really hard to be good enough and to prove myself, high achieving, good grades in school. But it was difficult. And I did grow up with some self-destructive behaviors. Not grow up, I was really good. But once I left high school, once I graduated high school and I got into college, and that's kind of where some of my very destructive behaviors happened, which, lots of drinking alcohol, just things that I grew up with. So it was just something that I did. And I did that for quite some time, and it went into my marriage, into my first marriage. So a lot of self-destructive behaviors in my first marriage. And yes, I was seeking to be fit and healthy, and I tried. But what was the overriding thing was the wiring in my brain that somehow inside I wasn't good enough. And so because I didn't feel good enough, I did self-destructive behaviors, because the mind is a very powerful thing. And those were the kind of things that happened. So this kind of stuff went into my marriage. I was married for 22 years, had 3 children, my wonderful 3 children by this man. And we went through this divorce. And all those years, I did struggle with my body image, with my weight, and also my self-esteem, believe it or not. And I know that there were times that there's a lot of things in my past that I could say, well, I regret that, but I don't. It's just part of who I am and who I was, and I couldn't have changed. I can't change that. It's part of what has made me who I am. But I do want to go now, and I want to kind of flip the script a little bit here. Because, like I said, these things have shaped me. But I want to also go back in time and think about, even though I had all of those traumatic things happen in my life, I also had some beautiful things that happened in my life growing up. The people that impacted me the most in a positive way were my teachers. They would take me under their wing. I felt very safe with teachers. A lot of teachers growing up, elementary school, junior high, and high school. These were people that encouraged me, believed in me, and told me that I was smart and I could go to college someday and I could do whatever I wanted to do. Those were the people. I also had some neighbors in my life that would take me to church, take me and my sister to church. I remember one summer, I was in 4th grade. I think I was around 9 or 10 years old. Some neighbors that started taking me to church. And one summer I went to Vacation Bible School, and I memorized all of my verses. I was there every single day. I did all the things, and I was the Vacation Bible School queen. There was a king and a queen. I'll never forget that, because it was the last day. Everybody was there, and big celebration for the end of Vacation Bible School, and I was the queen of Vacation Bible School. So proud. And I got a new Bible and everything. But I also had some great counselors in my life, and I did seek counseling. Something inside of me told me there were things that were not right. It was different, right? Very different growing up, because my mom had lots of boyfriends, several marriages, and I witnessed a lot of abuse and all of that. So these influences that were positive, I also am so grateful for. And I'm grateful for I had some Young Life counselors in high school. Young Life was a non-denominational Christian outreach. I actually had some fantastic counselors there, would go to that. Those really impacted me in a great way. I actually became a young life counselor too, which was cool. And a lot of church leaders and people in the church that I looked up to that poured into my life and believed in me. These were the things that were great that I could look back on. Professors in college, because I did go to college, right? And then I joined the military. The military is a wonderful thing that helped shape me. And I became an officer, and I learned a lot about being responsible, about being a leader. And that was tough. But I also learned that I could do things. I could really achieve what I wanted to achieve. And then in my 20s and my 30s, I did participate in a lot of fitness events. And even though I still struggled with my body image and all those kind of things, those were still things that shaped me. And I'm grateful for those things. I'm thankful. And I'm also thankful for whatever was inside of me, like my past self that sought out counseling, counselors in school, counseling outside, some therapy. I also would read lots of self-help books, books on boundaries, books on alcoholism. And I even went to Al-Anon meetings. At one point, I went to Alcoholics Anonymous. I just learned so much through all of that therapy. And I did this personal development. This was my personal growth starting early. In high school, I started reading books and understanding that there was this thing called enabling and needing to have boundaries and codependency. I learned those things in high school. And so all of this stuff, I grew to have a deep compassion and the ability to connect with so many types of people who have also been hurt and done wrong and have gone through trauma. And so I'm thankful and I have so much gratitude that this is where I can look at all of the hard things that I went through. Sitting here talking with you, I'm reflecting on stuff as a child, so many times hanging out in the bars because my mom worked in the bars as a waitress, as a bartender. So many times I was home alone, taking care of my little sister at a very young age without a sitter. Couldn't go to sleep. I'd clean the whole house. But these are the things that shaped me. And I used to be like hurt about this kind of stuff. I went through the counseling and all that. I used to feel like, man, what would have happened if I would have had a better childhood? What could I have attained if I would have had the proper mentorship and parenting? But I shifted all of that around because I realized something very, very, very powerful. I wouldn't be who I am today if it wasn't for all of those hard, tough times that I have lived through. I wouldn't be who I am today. And so it has given me this deep, deep compassion for people, a true care. I really care. Sometimes people get to know me in the beginning and they're like surprised that I really care and I love so deeply and I have so much compassion. And I see it in their eyes because they're so confused. Like, really? Is this real? As you've gotten to know me, you find out that it is real and I truly do love you and I really care. When women come into Rock That Fitness, we get in these groups and I have just learned to just be myself and love, because over time people will see that that's real. But this is the part where I'm just so grateful inside that I have had all of these experiences. I can truly, honestly sit here, sincerely say with all of my heart that I am grateful for all of the hard things that I've lived through. So I'm just kind of hoping, imagining that you are also kind of reflecting on how your past and the hard things you've lived through have shaped you to be who you are, because you are who you are and you are unique and there's no one else like you. And it's a wonderful thing when you realize, look how strong you are. Look at all you've been through. And it's who I have become. And it made me who I am. It called me to want to help other women heal, to help other women be strong. It's why I became a nurse, because I have a genuine care. And that's like the whole theme. That's the depth of nursing, is to care. And why I wanted to become a coach, so I can help. women from the inside out. And I've learned more and more through the years how important it is, this mindset stuff and changing the way we think so that the things that we do can last and be sustainable in our health and our fitness long term. So I just want to tell you this, as you are thinking through the things that you have gone through, I just want to let you know, remind you, if you haven't thought about this lately, okay? These are the hardships that did not destroy you. These are the hardships that did not destroy me. They refined you. They have refined me. And they have cracked you open so that more light can shine through you. So this is where I want to share this message, okay? When we don't take full responsibility for all of the things, even if it wasn't your fault, people tend to put blame, and blame just keeps people stuck. And blame keeps people powerless. And blame keeps us emotionally in chains. And blame, let me turn this around. Here's the difference. We're going to take full responsibility. Break that word down. One of my mentors says, and I don't remember where I heard this, but breaking the word responsibility down really helps us understand what it really means. And when we understand responsibility, it's empowering because it's the ability to respond. So rather than blaming everything, everyone, we have the ability, we can choose to respond differently in an empowered way. So responsibility isn't blame, it's freedom. And responsibility is I choose to respond rather than to react. Now, this doesn't happen overnight. It takes practice, it takes awareness, and it takes, repetition, practice, keep doing it. Responsibility, the ability to respond. This shift is going to affect, I guarantee you, for me and for anybody who makes this shift in their mindset, is going to help you, and it's going to affect your health. It's going to affect your fitness, your habits, your relationships. It's going to impact your confidence and your entire life. So this is where we understand most people are going to be saying things like, this happened to me. This happened to me. So I no longer say that when I think about the things that have happened in my life and the hard things. I realize that those things actually happened for me. And it's empowering when we think about it that way. Even today. And girl, I am going through some really hard stuff right now. And I have to remind myself that the things I'm going through today are happening for me. Cheers. Let's have some water. Let's drink some water. Chug to that. So life is always happening for you. For some reason. It's kind of like saying everything happens for a reason. But to think that life is happening for me, things come up and I have to understand that it's happening for me. And even when I can't see it yet, I know things are happening for me. Like this. This is happening for me. Why I didn't have internet for 2 days before I came on this trip. Why I wasn't able to record my podcast. But it's different for me these days. I didn't throw a fit and get upset. I was like, I may or may not get to record a podcast episode. I may have to just do a rerun, which I was feeling really bummed out about. And it's okay to have those feelings. But I knew it was happening for me for some reason. I don't always need to know why, but it's doing something for me. That's empowering. And so when we choose responsibility over reaction, the difference is we're not spiraling. We are growing. It's very empowering, isn't it? Think about it. How are you feeling now, right now? Just thinking about the tough things, the hard things you've gone through, knowing that it happened for you. And you have the ability to respond. Because I think to myself, what good is it for me to respond in a way that is poor me, sad, upset, angry. All of those negative emotions are not serving me. They do nothing for me. And at some point, I'm going to have to take responsibility and do something if I want to move forward and be successful. Otherwise, I will just stay stuck. Poor me, sad, angry, blame events, blame circumstances, blame people. How is that empowering? It's not. We're just putting the blame somewhere else. We don't want to take responsibility, so we can just feel sorry and stay stuck. I don't want that. And I don't think you want that either. It takes courage to say, you know what? I am not going to let this get to me. This is not going to, be having power over me. I am going to take charge and I'm going to be responsible and take action. Let's tie this back into fitness. The women who get real and lasting sustainable results with their fat loss, their health, their fitness, they're the women that take full responsibility for every aspect of their life. They're not blaming things. And I know this steps on toes. Some women do not have the courage to face this. I'm not judging anybody. No judgment here. I just see it for what it is. And so we can choose to fight for our limitations and keep them and stay stuck, or we can choose to take responsibility for every aspect of our lives so that we can finally have the power back, take action, and start making some progress. Let's get the needle moving in the right direction. The women who are successful, who learn emotional responsibility, not perfection, are going to be the women who are going to be truly successful. And this, it spills over into every aspect of our lives. Like I said, our relationships at work, and our relationships with our kids, and our relationships with our parents, our relationship with our spouse, and in our relationship with ourselves, where we can have compassion and love and be there for ourselves and take actions in ways that advocate for our health and our fitness, because we deserve that. You deserve that. So as we've been talking, I have a feeling you've been reflecting on the hard things that you've gone through, because we've lived a few decades here by now. So I want to invite you to take a look at your own story, not through the lens of blame or shame or guilt. We're letting that go, because life's not perfect. Nothing's perfect. And when we have this expectation that it's supposed to be perfect or a certain ideal way, we are always going to be frustrated. So let us just embrace what is, and then take full responsibility and ask the question, what can we do about it? How can we be responsible, have the ability to respond? And when we have this lens and we're looking at our story in this way, we can look at it with a different kind of gratitude this week. Not gratitude for what happened. I mean, nobody's going to be grateful for the things that perhaps harmed you, either physically or emotionally. We're not having gratitude for that. We're having gratitude because for you, who it has created you to be, who you have become because of it. Does that make sense? So you're not broken, and you're not, it doesn't matter what your age is, you're not behind. You're right where you're supposed to be. You're not damaged. You're a woman who survived things that were meant to break you. And you're still here, and you're still seeking to improve yourself, which is amazing. It's a huge win. When I see this in my clients, when I see this in Rockstar women, the Rockstar ladies of RTF, I could not be more, impressed. I don't like to say proud. I'm very proud. And I'm also just very, very, very happy to see women getting freed up, knowing that everything that has happened in their life has happened for them. And it's a great thing, because now we can just own it. And it is what has made us who we are today. And I want you to start recognizing that you are a powerful warrior. And it's the things that you've gone through that have created this person in you, who you are. Because once you do that, you are going to reclaim your power in every area of your life. So let's talk about some, like I said in the beginning, we're going to go over some journal prompts. So get your journal out, or maybe you come back and you journal about this. But I'm going to give you 4 extremely deep prompts for you to think about and to journal this week as you shift from having this gratitude for this surfacey thankfulness, surfacey gratitude for the things that are good, for the wins, for the blessings, which that's wonderful. Okay, I'm not making fun of it. But let's take some time this week to have a different kind of gratitude that is going to be life-changing. So get your notebook out, get your pen, girl, and let's journal about this. Let's grow. Let's do this together. Number 1, what tough experiences have shaped me the most? Ask yourself this. What tough experiences have shaped me the most? Number 2, what strengths, qualities, or insights came from those experiences? Did I say number 3? That was number 2. Number 3, how have those experiences helped me become who I am today? How have those experiences helped me become who I am today? Number 4, where can I release blame and take responsibility so that I can reclaim my power? Where can I release the blame and take full responsibility so I can reclaim my power? Number 5, did I say I was going to have 4? Well, here's 5. How can I respond, not react, to what I am facing right now? What are you facing right now? And how can you choose not to blame and choose to take responsibility for yourself and choose to take responsibility for actions going forward? And I'm thinking to myself, a lot of things going on in my own personal and, this IT band syndrome I'm dealing with, which I don't even know how I'm going to do in this bike race tomorrow, but it's all happening for me. And it is so freeing to know that I don't have to pretend to do anything, pretend to be somebody I'm not. I don't have to, I know this is happening for me. I don't have to like it. I just know it's happening for me. And I'm grateful because it's making me who I am. It's growing me. It's making me stronger. And I know that some of these prompts are going to hit hard. And that's okay. This is life. We're human. And you're not alone. I just want to remind you, you're not alone. We're in this together, girl. I get it. I get it. And if you're listening to this and this is moving you in some kind of way or impacting you, I want to encourage you to reach out to me. If you're on my Rockstar Fit Chick weekly newsletter, then just respond. I would love to know how this hits for you. I'll probably email about this too, of course. But let's tie this into your fitness and your health, because gratitude isn't just emotional, okay? It's going to impact your health and your fitness. So when we let go of blaming the past, blaming our choices, blame for our body, when we can remove the emotional stuff out of the way and just look at this for what it is, the data, we don't have to blame anything, then we're taking our power back. When we take our power back and we start taking steps, we start taking action in the things that we need to take action in to be fully responsible for our health and our fitness. Because I think of things when women say stuff like, I just don't have time. And I know it's a big one. Women say, I just don't have time to prepare my food, or I don't have time to go to the gym or work out or whatever it is. That's a big one. We make time for the things that are important. That's a blame game. We can take full responsibility and ask the question, well, I may not be able to spend time at the gym at this time, but where can I? Or what can I do to actually have the time? What do I need to do differently in my schedule? I'm going to take back my power, right? See how that switches things around? Same thing with, meal prep. I see this all the time inside of our Rockstar members. They'll go through a period of time where they're struggling, they're getting to work, they're eating the snacks in the lounge, in the break room, there's food all the time, there's luncheons, and they say, well, I have to partake, but that's giving our power away. Then I see the shift happen. I see the shift happen, girl. Rockstars, I see you guys making the shift. You're like, you know what? I don't have to do this. I don't have to do this to please other people. I'm taking my power back, taking my lunch every day, or, whenever you want to take your lunch, your snacks. Make sure you're fully responsible for all the foods that you're eating at work. So we don't have to blame our circumstances or a situation. It's a mindset shift. Some people don't want to face that. We do have choices and we can change things around. And in case you didn't know this, by the way, there is a solution to every problem. I really believe this. We might not like the solution, but there's a solution to every problem. Have the courage. Be brave enough to take action in those solutions. And when you step into responsibility, you step into consistency. This is the thing. So many women, most women that I talk to, they say this is their challenge. Well, I'm always struggling with consistency. Well, when we take responsibility, we are not going to struggle with consistency as much. Take consistency for practicing a new habit, one new habit. Practice one new habit till it becomes a habit. A habit is not a habit until you're doing it without thinking about it anymore, right? Then you're starting to take action. You're taking full responsibility for making a habit a full-time habit. And then you get consistent with that habit. Consistency changes everything, right? Consistency changes everything. And this is why the women in Rock That Fitness are successful, because they're taking full responsibility and they are grateful for the things that happen. I can't tell you how many times the women in Rock That Fitness, Rockstars, if you're listening, you know I'm talking about you here, right? That you guys are amazing and you're just blowing me away all the time. This happened, but I showed up anyway. That's what I get to hear inside of the community of Rock That Fitness. Women are not making excuses. They're not saying poor me. They are, yes, challenges. We all have challenges, but they're not making excuses. They're taking responsibility. They're saying, you know what? I wasn't able to make it at the gym at this time, but I was able to. I could shift it here. I didn't get to pack my lunch, but I did this instead. It's taking power. It's powerful. We take back our power. And this is how we start taking steps towards our goals, to achieve them, to actually get results. And it's that power, the power of being grateful for the things that are happening, because it's happening for us and it's strengthening us. It's making us more, stronger, more resilient. And this is the power behind becoming the woman you were meant to be. The woman who is healthy, fit, strong, and you are maintaining the results long term because you have decided to be grateful for even the hard times and take steps in the direction of being responsible for every aspect of your life. This is where we are shifting our identity, because we're no longer victims. We're not a victim of what's happening today. We're not a victim of what happened yesterday. We are stepping into having full responsibility for everything and not reacting. We have a choice. We don't. And yes, I'll be the first to admit, it's not like I never react. Okay. But I catch myself now. I reacted. How can I respond instead? How can I do it differently next time? I want power back. And that's what makes this a lifestyle and not a diet when it comes to our health and our fitness. Diets don't work. Diets never worked, because we weren't responsible. We were following these little rules and it was a cookie cutter plan. But when we step into being responsible for our own individual plan, now that's where real and lasting change happens. So now I want to say this. I want to say happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving week. Happy gratitude week. let's learn to be grateful and thankful for what is happening. And it's not going to be easy. It's not easy. I already know it's not easy. I already know there are going to be some really hard things that are going to come up in my life that are going to be hard, but I can have gratitude and I can know that it's happening for me. Cheers. Have some water with me. Are we having fun yet? I'm going to close. Thanks for listening today. Thanks for being here with me today. Thanks for just, thank you for receiving and accepting the imperfection here and hanging out with me today. I do want to speak to you. This is a special message to you. If you are not inside a Rock That Fitness community and you have been feeling stuck and you have tried all of the things, work gets in the way, you try to do the thing, you're not consistent, maybe you know what you need to do, but you're not doing it, and or maybe you've been eating healthy and you've been working out, you're not getting the results. You think, I know what to do, but I'm not doing it, so I shouldn't, I don't need a coach, I just need to do it. Well, this is why, because we've got to get our ego out of the way, and we all have it, but if you have been putting it off for whatever reason, I want to invite you to get on the wait list, the priority list. Get on the priority list for Rock That Fitness. I'll be opening up enrollment to Rock That Fitness in the early part of 2026. But get on the priority list, because I don't know what's going to happen between now and then, especially with some of the restructuring I've been doing, coming back to the heart of Rock That Fitness, which is all group coaching, which is very powerful, which has been so beautiful. I love it. We have strength in numbers here inside of RTF, and the women pulling together, encouraging the accountability, the love. This is the place. This is the place to be. This is the best online fitness community ever. And I am so honored and privileged to get to be a part of it. And I want to invite you to come and be a part of it. So in the show notes, there is a link so you can go get on the priority list. It does not obligate you to anything, but this way you'll be first to know when doors open. You will be first to get, whatever bonuses, whatever gifts I'm going to give for joining, taking early action to come on in. And then also you're going to be in the loop in case I do something on the back end that nobody knows publicly, and invite you to come into Rock That Fitness through the back door. Anyways, if this episode spoke to you, I really would love to hear from you. Email me, Anna@rockthatfitness.com. Message me on any of the platforms, social platforms, Instagram, Facebook, you name it, TikTok, where else? I'm on YouTube. I don't talk enough about it. Thank you, Rockstars, for pointing that out, that I've come across your feed on YouTube. But step into being responsible. Step into your identity of who you are really meant to be. Your strength. This is all about having massive action and having massive personal growth. And with that personal growth, it takes courage. And I know it does. But there's so much on the other side. The things that you want to achieve, the results that you want, are on the other side of hard. There is no achievement, nothing good on this side of staying stuck and scared. It's all happening on the other side. It's where you have to do it scared. Okay? There's no such thing. Like, people will say, oh, you're a fearless leader, Anna. And it kind of makes me laugh, a little chuckle inside, because no, I am not fearless. I've just chosen to do it scared, to have courage. So, yeah, that's it. Remember, your life is happening for you. Happy Thanksgiving. Love you. Rock on.